Oh, okay. Oh my God, what is? Did you give him beans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he not supposed to have beans?
Those jalapeno beans.
Clearly, they have never seen Mr. Mom.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Classy Redneck. It is I, your tour guide on this classy redneck adventure,
It is you.
and my partner, West Virginia. Tonight,
Wait, I should do this.
ooh,
Like gang signs or something.
That's
West
pretty
Virginia in the house.
that's interesting. And I'll be like, I don't know what I would do. Oh,
Wait a minute. CR.
Classy Redneck.
Mind blown.
All right, so tonight we've got classic Tex-Mex. We've got a little pico with chips served up at the beginning. We've got some beef and cheese enchiladas coming out with the staple side dishes of Mexican rice and refried beans. And we are pairing it with Porta, which is a wine of Chile. I looked for a Mexican or Texas wine, which apparently is not a thing they have at Total Wine. So yeah, we went with a nice red here. What is that?
So it's a Carmenere?
Carmenere from Chile. I can't really read it. 2021 Mayo.
Porto Reserve.
What are you thinking?
From what I remember, I haven't had a lot of Carmeneres. I think that's how you Carmenere. How you pronounce this? I don't remember having such a kind of desserty nose.
For me, I feel like the first thing that popped into my head was like a cherry cola. You know, it's got like a it's a sweet. I was thinking cherry.
Yeah, I think a little deeper in the glass, you get more of like a cherry cola. Yeah, still a little bit of light caramel and maybe not strawberry so much on the palate. More of getting into black raspberry territory. I want to say.
Oh yeah.
Not quite to blackberry. More like black raspberry.
So yeah, to me, I still get those notes of cherry cola.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a dry wine, but the notes of the cherry cola make it taste sweeter than I think it actually is.
Not super rich, not too cloying, not too dry, not too oaky. Just a really nice sipping wine.
Do you want to hear the tasting notes on it?
Yeah, give us the notes.
Let's see how close we got.
So it offers intense, complex aromas such as red and black fruit,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
spice, black pepper, and this is a word I'm never good at saying. Cassis.
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 So that's black currant.
I always think Cassius, but that's...
Cassius.
Cassius Clay.
Damn you, Cassius.
The juicy palate presents
juice.
good structure, soft tannins, big volume, and an intense, well-balanced finish.
So when you first told me that we were going to be doing enchiladas with wine, my head went straight to Spain, and I started thinking oh, we're probably doing a Tempranillo. So I'm a little surprised we picked this. I'm excited to see how it pairs with enchiladas and salsa and such.
Yeah, like I said, I was gonna try to do something, a little Texas, Mexico to, try to pair the food with the, the region of the wine. And my next thought was Spanish wine.
Mm-hmm.
But the recommendation from Costco at Total Wine was the Chilean. I thought, what, that's a good idea. A little further south, see how that pairs out. So
Recommendation from who?
Costco, the guy at Total Wine.
The guy at Total Wine's name is Costco.
Costco, yep. All right, but our first course is obviously the chips and salsa.
Let's do it.
I got them in my little chicken bowl here.
Chicken bowl.
Got a picture of a chicken on the front.
So definitely nothing offending going from the wine into the chips and salsa. It's a nice easy transition. Feels very natural.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a spicy salsa or anything, so.
It definitely stands up to chips and salsa.
Yeah.
Are you getting the spice? Like, drinking the wine before we had the chips and salsa, I had no like black pepper or any kind of spice impact at all. And then this is a very mild salsa, like you said, so I wasn't getting really any kind of peppery effects from that. But after eating the salsa, taking a sip of wine, now I've got a little bit of a peppery effect on the palate, and those darker fruit flavors are starting to come through a little bit more.
Yeah, it's I took another taste just to see, and it's hard to differentiate between like if it's like a little bit of spice in this, or if it's like a
Right,
black
where's
pepper.
that spice coming from?
Like it really blends together.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I
kind of
mean,
interesting.
even if it doesn't work, if this wine doesn't work with the enchiladas, it's great with the salsa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, nice. Oh, some more.
I think that's a hard thing to pair. Honestly, chips and salsa is a hard thing to pair with. Like for me, it was kind of a stump trying to figure out what to do with chips and salsa, and even enchiladas, like the chili powder and stuff. Like, how do you pair that with a wine that's not a white, that's not sparkling, like your usual suspects?
Right. Yeah, and especially like, you know, the way this wine smelled, you know, out of the gate, like I never thought it would pair this well. This is really nice.
Okay, so here we got the traditional sides of refried beans and Mexican rice. And then we've got a beef enchilada here. Homemade tortillas by Mammy Redneck.
Man, the enchiladas look amazing, I gotta say. And who doesn't like rice and beans? Man, I don't know where to start.
I think I'm going to start with the sides. That's how I want.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go-
start with the rice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing shocking about the rice. I mean, there was rice is a pretty plain, and, it paired pretty well, I feel like.
Yeah, if anything, maybe just, you know, the kind of the saltiness of it made the fruit jump out a little bit. I feel like the refried beans have a little bit of a spice kick to them.
Like, it doesn't seem like a high tannin wine, but I've noticed with a lot of reds and spicy food, when you drink a high tannin wine with spicy food, it kind of just, I'm assuming the oils or whatever from the spiciness, it just kind of just washes that all through your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of, you put something spicy in your mouth, you take a drink of a high tannin wine, and it just flushes it all through your mouth. And I'm wondering if this is kind of the same thing going on, because, it feels like it's almost like a continuation of the spice.
Right. Yeah, so we, you've brought that up before. We've, kind of explored that before, and it totally makes sense. Like the real high tannin wines are really dry. It makes sense that would push the spice into, almost like extreme, levels.
Yeah.
Not making you break out in sweat, but just kind of uncomfortable. You're no longer able to enjoy the spicy goodness that's going on in your mouth.
Yeah, because it doesn't provide any sort of relief. It just pushes it to every corner of your mouth.
So this doesn't quite do that, right? This is not quite as dry and tanniny. It's got a little bit of that fruity character to it.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of
still works.
Yeah, it kind of does that, but it almost in a way that accentuates it versus makes it a bad thing.
Right. Oh man, I don't think I've had homemade enchiladas since the last time you made us homemade enchiladas. I like what's going on with the enchilada effects on my palate and what I'm smelling when I first bring the wine up to my nose here. I think there's something to be said for this. Wow, I'm blown away. I never ever thought this wine was going to stand up to spicy Mexican food.
Really not that spicy.
Well, but it's not that spicy, obviously, but It's not.
Spiced. It's
Spiced.
the perfect level of spice. Like if you want spicier, you add to it. This is like
You know, it's not chicken with mushroom gravy either. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean that was my biggest concern was like, what do you pair with? You know, it's got bold flavors. It's got cumin. It's got chili powder. It's got red meat. It's got tomato. Like everything about that screams of red wine. But there's not a lot of red wine that I can think of that really I would pair with this. You know.
Yeah.
Like when I think red wine, I think, you know, steak or like Italian food. Which I mean, this is, you know, basically a lasagna when you think about it. When you break it down.
What I was gonna say is we have some friends from our time in the Navy who call these enchiladas Coy's enchiladas, not realizing that they're actually my enchiladas.
Oh, I remember hearing this story.
So that's all I was gonna throw out there. Shout out to them.
I still take full
Your
credit.
real friends from the Navy days would never say
Right.
that. We would
That's
call
where I was
these.
going with
We would
this.
call these mom's enchiladas.
Not Coy's.
They are amazing.
Continue on.
It's not smoked on a grill, so it can't be.
True.
So I'm just dropping a little.
All right,
Matuks.
all right. I mean,
Soca hot sauce. Is that what it is?
Tukes Soca hot sauce, Trinidad and Tobago. You
So that
snuck this back from St. Croix, right?
Yes, I had to.
Did you have to do things that you can't say on YouTube?
Yeah, I washed the bottle before we used it. No, luckily I got it on
Well
Amazon.
done.
I found it on Amazon.
But you discovered this when you were down in St. Croix.
Yeah. Some lady brought it out. She's like, do you want vinegar-based hot sauce or carrot-based hot sauce? And I'm
You're like, do you have any pepper or tomato-based hot sauce?
like, I'm intrigued. Bring me the carrot-based, and it was really delicious. But I don't really see carrots on the. It's like pickled Scotch bonnets, which.
Yeah, I mean, I
Not a carrot.
didn't read all the ingredients, but I didn't see carrots either.
Yeah, like my thought is, you know, if it's carrot based, carrot should be the first ingredient, but
Let's do it hot sauce now.
that was very enjoyable.
And I know hot sauce. Now, is this
Are you
going
out
to
of
be
space?
is this going to be too spicy? Is this going to be the limit for where this wine stands up?
I feel the same thing's going on. Like it's kind of like flushing the heat through my mouth, and I think
So unexpected. The little bit of sweetness that it has is like just enough to just keep barely pushing through the spice heat, even with I mean, this has got the first ingredient on this hot sauce is Scotch bonnet peppers, pickled, aged Scotch bonnet peppers.
yeah,
And those are like as hot as habaneros.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I think it did kind of. I think the heat kind of did detract from the taste of the wine, but it's still there. Like it's
You can still
it's
enjoy
still
it.
a good wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's impressive.
like the wine doesn't stand up to this really hot sauce as much as it did to the jalapeno beans or the chili enchiladas,
but it's not interacting in a negative way either.
Yeah.
It's actually still enjoyable
yeah, it's still good. It's still
if you like
refreshing. It's
spice.
just- like I think
Wow.
the heat of it takes away from the flavor of the wine a little bit.
I don't hate it.
No, I'm
pretty
definitely
impressed.
gonna have to check out more Chilean wines with spicy stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Classy Redneck, what did this run our budget? Are we good for several more bottles of this?
So this was a $10 a bottle, and it was actually top shelf at Total Wine, yet still only ran $10 a bottle. I was pretty amazed at that. Like, yeah, usually the pricier stuff's like higher up, but this was on the top shelf, $10 a bottle, very affordable and very, very good.
Huh. Ooh, that's impressive. I am blown away. That's maybe my favorite wine that we've done on this channel.
Thanks everybody for joining. Be sure to click like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And if you can think of any foods you want to see paired, please throw
Drop a comment.
Throw them in the comments.